Let's move along to defense, gentlemen. On the defensive side of the ball, boy, oh boy, there's going to be a lot of crow getting 8 today. Keyshawn Nixon, 82.4, leading the way.
What you talking about?
Yeah, with a 90.1 coverage grade.
He is a G.
Say that again. Say that again. Yeah, what was that?
90.1 coverage grade.
He is a G.
So, solid day at the office.
That's good, right? It's pretty good, right?
That's last I checked. That is good. So 82.4, run defense grade 68.4, tackle grade 76.6, pass rush grade 71.9. They fired him on at least one blitz. And then the coverage grade, like I said, a 90.1. I mean, the closest player in coverage grade to Keyshawn Nixon's 90.1 for the Packers was a 75.3 by Javon Bullard. Wild to think about. So
Bull was all over the place yesterday. He was playing great football yesterday.
Absolutely. Joe in the chat. I want it to be known in the chat. I apologize to K9. We appreciate that, Joe.
Fishy things. Super happy to be wrong about K9. Good job, K9. Apology forms available. K9 didn't score over 92. He says bust.
Feel a little bit short there. So second on this list. Go ahead, Jacob. I'm sorry.
No, I said it last night, and I think this morning or whatever. I really do think that K9 doesn't get enough respect. I think that like his aggressiveness at certain times can maybe be a little bit like disconcerting, and that it could maybe put us in a certain type of situation. But you need somebody like that on defense. You need somebody between him and Carrington, just John, like that gets in those guys' heads, and you can see it does. Like you can literally watch them getting to the point where they're gonna, like we saw the replay where he comes back. Guys are coming back into our huddle to try to like start stuff. And if the refs had their head out of their butt, they could actually start calling the game right, and we could actually take advantage of that a little bit more. Then I'm very, very excited. I think Keyshawn Nixon is a great addition to this team, and I'm very, very glad that I was wrong. I will eat the humble pie. He is a Green Bay Packer.
Yeah. They call him K9 because he's a dog.
I got to do it, Tim. I got to do it every time.
Receiver by 10 yards.
Poor Corey. All right, so number 2 on this list, and it kind of goes hand in hand with this comment that you guys marked. Ron Sample said 2025 coverage grades. Cooper DeJean, 71.7. Pretty good, right?
Not bad.
Yeah, Javon Bullard, 72.3.
That's better.
Here's a guy.
Yeah, Javon Bullard, second highest graded defender for the Green Bay Packers, 75.2 with a 75.3 coverage grade and a 72.4 pass rush grade as well. Javon Bullard, boys, don't look now, but his coverage is now it's really good. His coverage grade on the season, listen to how he improved according to PFF. 47, 64, 46, 58. Right? Now, starting in week 6, 68, 67, 67, 77, 62, 80, 69, 75, 73. So, yeah, on the season, he is now sitting at a 69.5 defensive grade with a 72.1 coverage grade there. So, yeah, my man Javon Bullard is he's on a different level. This is the guy that we seen when we watched the college tape, right? And again, last year, 1 second he's having to practice at safety, the next get an injury there. Now he's got to jump back to the slot. They've let him settle into the slot. And boy, oh boy, and Tim, this is coming off a week where we were wondering if he was going to play because of the injury.
Yeah, and he was a menace out there. I mean, certainly obviously feels okay because he was laying the wood out there, man. That I know we'll get to it in Chalk Talk, but there were some plays that really stood out to me from Javon Bullard. I remember a couple of times watching go, where's 20? Where's 20? You know, we didn't see him. And then as soon as he hit the field, he's immediately making plays out there. And I'm just glad he's okay and is going to continue to grow because it wasn't too long ago. We were real concerned about that coverage grade with Javon Bullard. And he has exceeded all expectations, I think, as far as his development. So I think he's only going to get better the more he plays.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys know that I was the number one fan of the Bullard fan club. I still think that his best football is in front of him. It's like to Clayton's point, I think that he's starting to understand how fast the game moves and what he can actually do. I think I saw somebody over here talking about how right here, like Greg's talking about, I love Bull near the line of scrimmage attack. He is fearless. He is not afraid to throw his body, just a human meat missile, if you will. And he's not afraid to throw the hammer down and just absolutely, like I said, get so physical where it's almost like, dude, take a minute. Don't do that. That's crazy. And I think that the coverage grade is starting to come around. And, I think he is just going to be somebody, again, to Clayton's point, once you get him in a position where you're not changing what he's doing in practice, where we're not asking him to do too much. I mean, Emilio talked about how, he had to practice one day at safety, the next at strong. All of a sudden they're throwing him in the slot like the day before the game starts. It's like, well, what can we actually ask for him if we're doing that to him? I think that he's going to be absolutely a dog going forward and just another awesome cog in the machine that we have here.
Yeah, Ari Ironminer hits a great point here. These guys are so young too. It's so true, man. It's so true. Doug in the chat said Jen's right. K9 got benched after the personal fouls, came back and balled out, and ended up one of the 2 game balls given by Matt LaFleur. And I love the fact that he owned it too. He apologized to the guys in the locker room during the post-game speech. Hey, man, sorry, glad I can come back and make up for those 2 mistakes I made in the first half. It takes a hell of a man to do that. It really does, man.
Clayton's K9s are mad about it. You can tell.
You can hear them out here. Oh, boy. Mandy's mom, side note here. Everybody hit like before everybody leaves here. I know y'all about to
Yeah.
Everybody smash that like button for us real quick. We've got a bunch of people in. A real quick story. My dogs lost their mind earlier. For those of you who don't know, I've got 2 full-blooded German Shepherds. My brother passed away a couple years ago, and I had to take in his dog, which is half German Shepherd and half Pyrenees. Okay, so he's a big dog too. They go nuts. I about went for the strap. I'm like, oh, somebody's in the house. I know that bark. Like, this is a different bark. I cut the corner, and Mandy's mom came in out of the rain and had her hood on, and they didn't know who it was. They were ready to – it was bad. I was like, whoa, Sarah, take your hood off. Do something, for God's sakes. You're about to get eat up here. It was awesome. So, yeah, Lincoln was not cool. But anyway, now PETA's on us. Next player here, Evan Williams, 69 snaps, 69.9 grade, tackle grade 80.8. Tim, we talked about this in the postgame. It seemed like Evan Williams was in on every damn tackle yesterday. I mean, he was just always around the ball, and him spinning down last second from that deep safety position we talked about, and just, I mean, absolutely playing with reckless abandonment. I love Evan Williams. This guy is so freaking good.
I'm glad he's starting to get recognized for that part of his game, because I even felt like that last year that, and this guy's a hitter, man. He's a thumper, and he gets a lot of credit for his coverage ability. But, man, he looks good blitzing and making tackles in the open field. It's just fun to watch him, and you feel real good about the future of the back end of that secondary with 33 back there.
Yeah.
His PFF grade on the year now, 73.9 on the season. So solid year for Evan Williams. Matter of fact, he is now higher than his grade last year was a 72.3, Jacob. Now he's up to a 73.9.
Right.
He is a G.
I don't know about you guys, but I mean, me and Clayton, I believe, had the conversation where, Evan Williams, I was excited to have him. I think he was a 4th-round draft pick, if I'm not mistaken. His biggest thing is, again, like is kind of that similar mold. When I looked at the Javon Bullard tape, this dude's a thumper. Tim just said, human meat missile. He will just fire his body. It doesn't matter. Like, he has reckless abandon. It's kind of crazy. His biggest knock on him is he's not a coverage guy, right? I believe he had some time in Oregon, and then I think as well as South Carolina or something like that.
I think I want to say it was Fresno. I could be wrong. Somewhere out in Cali. Yeah,
okay.
I'm sure Coach knows. But yeah, they said if you went back and watched that tape, you'd see the coverage everywhere. We just watched the Oregon tape, right? So.
Right. Yeah. And I to just be so pleasantly surprised. And Soder said Fresno State. Just what a pleasant surprise to have a guy like him. And he seems like that he is wise above his years. I don't know about you guys, but everything from him and his tape, for his post-game coverage, the way that he just kind of, I think that him and McKinney next to each other, like, that's just crazy because he gets to learn from an absolute pro. I don't think McKinney gets enough respect on his name just because nobody talks about him because he's doing his job. You know what I mean? We talk about how guys in the secondary, if we don't talk about them, it's because they're doing their job. It's probably a good thing. He's learning from him, and I think that he also has that mix between of having that coverage ability and the stick-to-itiveness of just him being able to throw his head down. And like you said, Clay, he is just always around the ball. He's always around the ball, and it doesn't matter where it is. And the fact that if they can start using him a little more on the blitz, like, the dude just seems like he is an absolute thundercat, bro. He's ready to throw down at any moment.
Yeah, extremely high football IQ from such a young player.
Yes.
And he's not the only one. I mean, we see that with Edge Coop out there too.
Right.
Extremely high football IQ. A guy looks like he's been playing for a decade. He's been in the NFL barely 2 seasons. It's a testament to the way we develop guys here, I think.
Yeah, I love what Coach Lynn said. He's gotten better at every program he's been at, probably not done getting better. Again, we talk about a player ascending as they enter the league, right? That's definitely Evan Williams to a T. Completely agree there, Coach. All right, next on the list, Baron Sorrell. Only 11 snaps, but a 67.8. Let's freaking go. Carrington Valentine, 69 snaps, 67.8 PFF grade. Run defense grade for Carrington, 77.5. Tackle grade, 79.1 with the 63.9 coverage grade. So Carrington's sitting at 68.2 on the season. You're seeing all these cornerbacks under the tutelage of Jeff Hafley just continue to get better. And you got to tip your cap to Derek Ansley as well, right? Obviously the passing game coordinator. So love how Matt LaFleur has built this defensive coaching staff, bringing in half and obviously having his hands in every aspect of it. Another thing he does not get enough credit for. Edgerrin Cooper, 67.2. Nate Hobbs, only 10 snaps, but a 66.6 with a 64.8 coverage grade. Nice little performance there. Get him some meaningful reps, get him back in the fold. Let's get him healthy. Micah Parsons finished today with a 65.7 PFF grade. Xavier McKinney, 64.4. Hopper only 1 snap. Kingsley Enagbare, a 56.8. I don't know what they're smoking there. I felt like he had a much better game. So in terms of the defensive line, we talked about this a little bit, like who's going to eat up those reps, right? So we're talking about Carl Brooks potentially returning. He had the most reps. So Carl Brooks actually leaps Kobe Wooden in defensive tackle reps, okay? Or snaps, I should say. 47 snaps for Carl Brooks with a 45.2 PFF grade. I know it's a bad grade, but we're just kind of talking snap count in a minute. Kobe Wooden was second at 43. Warren Brinson third with 27. And then you had Jordan Riley, the new addition, with 14. So it looks like it's going to be Carl Brooks, Kobe Wooden when you're in that traditional 4-man front with 2 big body defensive tackles. So that's good information to know. But
I'll take that. Carl Brooks in the general.
Yeah,
we'll be all
Carl
right,
had a
bro.
good game too. I'm telling you, one of my favorite plays of the game was watching Carl Brooks put the fear of God in that end around. Who was it? Was that Burden that got that end around?
I was just gonna say he had the only other tackle for loss other than Kingsley. Absolutely,
it looked like Smokey walking down the street coming across Devo, didn't it? Oh no!
Hey, to your credit though, too, like you guys were just talking about, Edgerrin Cooper 11 tackles, 5 solo. Next one was Quay, and then Evan with 7, Xavier with 7, Isaiah McDuffie with 6, and then Kingsley with 4. I really do think that Kingsley and Barre probably needs a little more respect on his name as well.
Yeah, and Edgerrin Cooper on the season, Tim, 67.2. 75.1 defensive PFF grade with a 73.5 coverage grade.
Yeah, sophomore slump my ass. Let's go.
No doubt. Quay Walker on the day was a 51.1. He had a 45 coverage grade, a 48 pass rush grade, but his tackle grade 83.4 for Quay, and a run defense grade is 68.6. So on the season, Quay is sitting at a 54.1. However, I think the more positive news, Quay played 70 snaps yesterday, so he is fully healthy, good to go, right?
Yep, and he looked good out there. He looked back to his old form pretty quickly. Communicating on that line too, doing a lot of the checks and calls with the D line on some of those run fits. It's good to see Quay back with the green dot, man.
What do you guys think about the fact that, so we've all talked about, obviously, on the offense, how we get Reed back, how we got Watson back. 12 for this brings up a good point. If we can get LVN back by the next Bears game, Caleb will not be able to escape. I think there was another one. Yeah, Greg Rice saying, oh my God, I forgot about LVN. That would be insane. I mean, because if you could get him back, and even if he's just a fraction of what he was starting to ascend as well. And if we can get a guy.
Yeah, 13% pressure rate, Jacob. Yeah.
Let's go. Like, that is, you know what, if you want to look at what it takes to have a late round or a late season playoff kind of streak going, I mean, you get a guy like LVN that can come in there, and we got Enagbare, obviously Gary with Micah Parsons. I mean, it's just, who are you going to try to stop, man? Even when we got guys that are gassed on the field, we got other guys that are coming in. I mean, even, I don't know about you guys, but I'm still impressed with what I see from Sorrell. He doesn't get many snaps, but the time he does, I feel like he flashes. And I think that's a guy that, God forbid anything happens in this season, but let alone next season and the years coming up, I think that we got one in him too.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else you guys want to hit on the defensive PFF grades there, fellas? Anything at all?
I think we got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, all right. If you guys watching this video back later, let us know in the comments what you think about the players we discussed here. Again, Keyshawn Nixon, Javon Bullard, Evan Williams, Barron Sorrell, and Carrington Ballantyne were the highest graded players on defense. Do you agree with that? Do you maybe disagree with some of the grades of the lower graded guys? We want to hear from you in the comments. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you know when we go live here in the future. So I think that's going to do it, guys. We hit all the PFF grades. We covered everything pretty extensively. Is there anything else y'all want to hit on before we wrap up here? Anything at all?
Put some spec on our boys' names. I saw Rashawn Gary catching a little shade. I don't know what the deal is with that. I think Rashawn is doing very well this season, and he's not strictly a pass rusher. I don't know if people are down on him because of sack numbers or pass rush grade or whatever it is. I've even seen people say he looks like he lost a step. The game I watched, it looked like 90% of the players on the field lost a step. It was frigid out there. It's hard to move. Well, probably everyone except Scoot, right? Because he almost cracked 22 miles an hour on that tutter. But I just would like to say, don't sleep on Bane Gary. That's a guy that's going to show up when you need him the most. And right now, it's all hands on deck in the trenches.
Yeah, I agree with that, Tim. And honestly, like his whole career, even when you go back to him in college, he was a team player. When he knew probably that if they wanted to go out and just let him, run around with his hair on fire, he could do that kind of stuff. But what they usually asked him to do was set the edge, be a team player, not make stupid mistakes. I think that in a way, that's kind of what they're asking him to do as his role, because we've got Parsons. He's going to be absolutely moving all around the field. He's going to be doing the Joker look. He's going to come off the edge. We need somebody on the other side, that's steady Eddie, that absolutely sits there and is going to make sure that there's going to be some gap discipline and that kind of stuff. And to this point, he's still having a great year, man. He's still having a great year. People just, because of the fact, I think that Parsons looks just so over the top good, people start to throw shade on Gary, and I just feel like that's such a small-minded way of looking at football. And again, whatever, you fan how you want to fan. But I just think that Rashawn Gary is the definition of a Green Bay Packer, and I'm never gonna not love that dude. He literally is he's one of my favorite Green Bay Packers that I've ever seen, and I'm always gonna go to bat for that dude.
And as you enter your veteran days of your career, right, we're getting closer and closer to the dirty 30, right? You adapt your game, and your coaching staff and your scheme is going to ask different things of you than maybe you did in your first couple of years of the league. And that experience and that leadership, that is priceless. And I've heard loose lips saying things like, "Oh, trade Rashawn for a bag of footballs or something. Let's move on." And I just I can't subscribe to that mentality. Now, if you're talking cap and you're talking contractual stuff, we'll leave that.
It's a different conversation.
Russ Ball and the boys and in the front office to figure all that out. But I think Rashawn is an asset to this team, and I don't know how you're missing so much of your best guys at times on this defensive line this year. Losing Devontae Wyatt is a serious thing. We haven't had LVN for a while. I don't know how you just casually say you're done with Rashawn. I can't buy into that.
And here's how I look at it. And too old for this hit the nail on the head. People saw him chasing Caleb and thought he was slow. Caleb Williams gets clocked over 20 miles an hour when he runs the football. Rashawn Gary is not that type of player. That would be like looking at Devontae Wyatt and go, Devontae Wyatt's slow. Did you see him? He can't chase down Caleb. It's the same type of thing there. He's never been a speed rusher, right? He's been that guy. Show me the reps where you see Gary get blown off the ball. I'll wait. It never happens. That's what he does. At Michigan, he actually played inside a lot. And there was you could see clips in Michigan where he was occupying 3 blockers and walking them horizontally down the line. So
we can show clips from this season to him doing that.
Right. And again, if you can't on one side, and Two Over This is not saying this, obviously he's pointing out that's why people are saying that's because they just see little flashes. And I've noticed this too. Announcers will say stuff during a game and the fan base will immediately repeat it online, and they'll pretend like, oh, that's it. That's what's wrong right there. Right. So with that being said, if you like the run defense, we all like the run defense, right? Well, you seen what we did to Chicago's run game, right? You seen what they did to Jahmyr Gibbs 2 weeks ago, right? You can't out of one side of your mouth say, oh, yeah, this run defense is dominant. And then at the other side say, Rashawn Gary's washed. Rashawn Gary ain't no good. Or Rashawn Gary ain't doing his job because he leads the defensive line in run stops. His run defense grade this year is a 72.2.
Yep.
Like,
and he leads that defensive line.
Yep. This is perfect. What Coach Lynn said. Gary is a 3-tech playing edge. Exactly. And he's actually a 3-tech that was asked to play outside linebacker in a 34 defense the majority of his career. Yep. And what did he do? He didn't complain. He just went out there and put up numbers. He went up there and produced. His PFF grades when he came in the league, 55 on 200 snaps, then 68, 89, 82, 79, 73, and this year he's at a 67. He's doing what he's asked to do with Micah Parsons, a part of this defense. Again, he's that edge-setting run defender opposite of Rashawn Gary. And then you could throw in a little flash of Kingsley and Igbari when you want a little extra pass rush and mix and match and keep these guys fresh. I know Gary's best football is behind him. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't know if he'll be a Packer next year. But the fact that we've spent as a fan base the last 4 or 5 years raking this guy over the coals, knowing damn well he was our best pass rusher and our best run defender on the defensive line is just mind-boggling. It's one of those things that someone will make a comment on Twitter. It'll catch a little steam. A podcaster will say it and create this narrative around it, right? ESPN Milwaukee. And they just like to rake the same guys over the coals constantly because they know it gets a ruse out of the negative portion of the fan base. Well, why ain't he getting sacked? Okay, but then how come you're not saying anything when Micah Parsons doesn't get sacked? He didn't get a sack yesterday. Well, he's being held. I know he's being held.
So's Rashawn.
Yeah, everybody under the moon can see he's being held, but why don't you come at him with the same energy? Why is that? Oh, because you spent the whole offseason glazing like a weirdo on Micah Parsons, hoping we get him. And now he better be great. And when he's not great, when he does come up in a game and performs with a 60s PFF grade and didn't get any sacks on Caleb, now all of a sudden you take a back seat. You change the focus back to Gary. Well, where's Gary at? Why ain't Gary doing anything? You see Micah getting held. Shut up. It's ridiculous. It drives me insane. And again, those people that talk that, I would love to sit down and watch tape with them. It's exactly what Hafley said about the people that said Micah Parsons is a bad run defender. People who think that, I'd love to get them in a room, sit down and watch the tape. Because, again, they're just repeating what they heard from him in Dallas. They're repeating from random people on sports talk radio that are talking about that stuff. And I want to say once again, I don't know if Gary will be a Packer next year, but I think he's been a damn good Green Bay Packer his entire time here. He's never complained once. He's always been a team guy. He's always done what was asked of him. And it's just ridiculous that we wasted so much time trying to drag him through the mud. He come out this year, boy, everybody got quiet, didn't they? Started off strong with those sacks. And I'm sitting back going, I like the way he's playing right now better than when he was getting the sacks because he's stopping the run, and that's what's keeping this defense fully balanced. So that's just me, though. What do I know?
He's an asset. He's never been a liability. Ever. He just does what he's supposed to do in this defense. It's does not get enough respect, man.
Absolutely. And the whole money thing is hilarious. The people who complain about his money, they're looking at the overall contract and they break it down average annual value, and that is not what you need to focus on. If you go look at his cap hits up to this point in his career, you'll notice this is the first year where he's like top 5 cap hit. Well, it's bad. Okay. So you conveniently haven't mentioned the previous 3 years where he wasn't even in the top 10. Well, that can't be the case. No, you don't understand how the cap works, and that's okay. But don't try to drag somebody through the mud when you don't know what the hell you're talking about. It eats me up, man. Yeah, there you go, Kieran. And remember, he had the ACL too. And what did he do? He came back way earlier than we expected because he busted his ass and wanted to be on the field with his teammates.
Great point. Great point.
Again, yeah. I think Gary's going to go down. I hope he goes down as a Packer Hall of Famer. I'll tell you one way you can do that. Get hot, go win a Super Bowl, and let that be on his resume as well. He led the team in sacks for all those years. He's right up there in quarterback pressures. Now he's a good run defender on the back nine of his career. Go get that dude a ring so we can put him in the Packer Hall of Fame because he is a Green Bay Packer. So
I agree, 100%.
All right. Anything else, boys? We good? Got me fired up. Now I got to go down here.
We got him all.
Somebody had to quarter on him.
It's crazy, man. And again, this isn't so much a shot at the fans. Like, I don't comment on people's tweets or drag them. I see it and I just go, man, they don't know what they're talking about. I just move on. I don't comment, right? Because I'm of the opinion, if someone doesn't ask your opinion, why are you giving your opinion, right? Like, I was just taught, that's how I was raised. Don't speak unless spoken to, right?
You do
Now,
that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
But when I hear people who put a microphone in front of their face and I can see right through their fakeness, that I tweeted or ran out from somebody over at the 4-Letter Network during the postgame show, you'd have thought we got beat by 30 points, right? It's just like there's no – and it's the same person that in week 2 they said the Packers already won the North. And then 2 weeks later they said, oh, I was wrong. There ain't no way the Packers are winning the North. Now they're probably saying the Packers are winning the North again. It's just unbelievable. And again, they do it for clicks. They do it for engagement. They do it for entertainment purposes. But those are the ones I get aggravated with because they know they got a huge freaking audience that's gaslighting a portion of the fan base that's extremely toxic. And it doesn't help the team. It doesn't help the fan base. It makes us look like morons is what it does.
Yep.
That's all it does. So.
Nick Waswain asked a couple different times, can we get the Isaiah McDuffie PFF grade by chance?
Absolutely. Isaiah McDuffie finished today with a 52.6. The bright spot was his tackle grade of 78. He played 36 snaps. So he was the second highest graded stack backer. Edgerrin Cooper, 67.2. Isaiah McDuffie, 52.6. Quay Walker, 51.1. So that's what he finished with. 36 snaps tells you, too, that the fact that Quay had 70, Cooper had 70, Isaiah had 36, they were in 12 a lot, evidently. 12 and 21 personnel. So.
You're good, Nick. I meant to ask you
good,
earlier.
Nick. I'm glad you actually this happened because I wanted to give Nick credit. The new he's a G drop is because Nick asked for it in the Patreon group. So thank you so much, Nick. Appreciate it.
He is a G.
I heard it earlier and was like, that was awesome. He said he's a G. You're right. That's awesome. And then it just completely slipped my mind. I didn't even think to put it in the show. And then I looked in the Patreon group earlier and Nick had said, yeah, we need that for a new drop. So it's going to be a good addition. But anyway. I love this right here. We'll end it with this. Joe Pack Joe says, Gary was a bigger love believer than Emilio. It's so true. It's so freaking true. Remember when he said, stop playing with him? Stop playing with him, Jordan? And that's the stuff that's not going to show up in PFF grades. That's the stuff that doesn't show up in the box score.
Right.
You got a veteran leader on the team that in Jordan's first year starting, he was behind him like that, pumping him up, building his confidence up like, hey, I'm a team captain and I freaking believe in you. That stuff. That's what the people on the big networks are not going to talk about. They're just not going to do it, man. So, right.
Says not Glover though.
Don't get me started on Glover. Lord have mercy. Y'all understand that when he comes back next year,
we're never going to hear the end of it.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me, dude? He wouldn't if he doesn't play one snap. Emilio will be convinced that he's the second coming of. I'm trying to think of a great offensive lineman. He'll be the second coming of Forrest Gregg or Jerry Kramer. Travis Glover, did you see him out there in practice? I'm telling you, that's my guy. Shut up, Emilio. Wherever you are.
I didn't know Emilio was T. Glover's agent.
Yeah. Would be funny.
Maybe that's it. He gets a chunk of the pie. That's what we're thinking.
It would be funny if you go over to Spot Track and it lists the agent's name and it said Emilio. It didn't even have a last name. It just said Emilio. That's it, right? So,
yeah, this picture was taken on signing day, right?
Exactly. We could probably fill another 8 minutes here. Anything else y'all want to hit? Anything at all? We got about 8 minutes if y'all want to continue talking. I was going to wrap it up in an hour, but y'all done got me hot over here, man. I'm going to take some blood pressure medicine before I go to sleep tonight.
I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we broke up this morning's podcast and we did have the discussion about how certain refs. Did you guys see what Troy Aikman had said?
No, what did he say?
He said that the refs gifted the Packers a victory.
How did he come up with that?
Have another one, Troy.
I could not believe it. I had to look it up. It just to me, it didn't track. And I just heard that the chat's going nuts. I just heard that he'd said it. I looked it up. He did say it. I just don't understand the mentality there. Like obviously you're going to have guys like Greg Olson, your Troy Aikmans that clearly just have a bias against certain teams. And honestly, I would do that too. If I let's say I played on let's just call it like
numbers
a
don't
crappy
lie,
team. Right.
Numbers don't lie though. He had to see the penalty yards and the penalties called, right?
It's just weird to me though, right? Like we're supposed to look at these guys as experts and quote unquote analysis. Like
Yeah.
How does that
anything
work?
on X at all? There ain't nothing on X. I just typed in Troy Aikman Packers, and there's nothing there. But it wouldn't surprise me.
Now we done started something, Jacob.
Yeah, come
Gotta
get me,
verify
Troy.
this stuff.
You know that ugly guy,
Elon's
Troy
like, did he
Aikman?
really say that, Jacob? Look,
Keyron gonna go looking for Troy now. Unbelievable. Don't want
Telling you.
Keyron after you. I promise you that, man. Jen Wright said Troy didn't watch the game. That's right. I believe it. He was listening to those old Lori Morgan CDs. So, that's worth. But all right. Anything else?
He's
Anything
not
else?
a attractive man. All right, can we just get that out of the way? I'm just
Yeah.
sorry.
And I agree with what Coach is saying here. I may be in the minority, but I enjoyed the hell out of Tom Brady's analysis yesterday. I don't know if you guys did. I thought he was fun. He was upbeat. That's why I made the Benjamin Franklin comment on Twitter. I said he might have went across the Michigan line and got him a little Benjamin Franklin. He looked like he was just like a little kid up there having fun. You know. How did you guys feel about Tom Brady in the broadcast?
am I the only one who watches the games on mute?
I think he's getting better. I'll be honest. When I first saw him, it seemed like he was, it's weird to say that Tom Brady would be nervous. It is weird though. Like when it's a different sort of dynamic when you're just going in there underneath the center and actually just have to play football versus, that there's going to be millions of people listening to you live. I think you could sense that type of situation and the way that he kind of called the games. But I agree with Clayton and with a few people in the chat. I do think that he's starting to kind of settle in a little bit. And it's like to Jen's point though, I'd rather listen to Larry. Like Larry McCarron and freaking they're just so good, man. They are so good.
Yeah, they are the best, man. I feel like they're the best radio broadcast team in all of the NFL for sure, man. And I grew up listening to some really, really good broadcasters back in the day. Like, my brother turned me on to some old audio clips of Myron Cope for the Steelers back in the day. If you guys don't know who that was,
Who's that?
Man, he was the Steelers radio guy for a long time. He's the one, I think he invented the terrible towel. He had just a Yinzer accent and was just so excited about the Steelers. And then of course we grew up with the John Madden and the Pat Summeralls, and I love the minimalist is what I like. And if we don't have a minimalist, I want a former player that loves the game. That's what made John Madden so great. As you could tell when he talked, he loved the game. He was having fun. Like Joe Buck said one time, when you listen to Pat Summerall and John Madden call a game, it was like you were sitting on the couch having a beer with buddies watching the game, right? Yep. Tom Brady here lately, it's why I personally like Tony Romo. Tony Romo would get all jacked up and excited. I want that. Now, I don't want it to be fake, and I'm not going to mention the name because I'll catch a lot of hate for it, but there's a broadcaster that goes over the top with it and it just feels fake. But I really, really do like the former player analysis when they let him talk about what's important. And that's what you're getting from Brady here lately. I feel like he's actually talking like a former player and not toting the company line that the execs want him to tote, if that makes sense. So,
who I really like that I don't think anybody would ever say is one of their favorite, Kenny Albert. I like Kenny Albert.
Yeah, he's got a good voice. Yeah, he's definitely got a good voice. Doug in the chat said you guys need to listen to Jim Irwin and Max McGee. I remember Max back in the day. Back in the radio. Yeah, McGee was always 3 sheets to the wind, as he should be, right? As he should be.
There you go.
Let's see here. Benduro Chair. I hope I'm saying that right. I thought there you go. Thank you. I thought Drew Brees was good. Tony Romo is fun, man. All these guys can break it down, but Brady is a little quirky. And yeah, there's some quirkiness. I mean, the guy eats avocado ice cream. What are we talking about, right? So
avocado ice cream?
Yeah, that's his big thing, man, on the diet, dude. You don't like avocado ice cream, Jacob?
No, I love pistachio ice cream. You guys ever tried that?
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Should we ask Caleb if they have any at the store?
Make us a McFlurry with that.
Give me some of that soft serve, Caleb, like you.
Yeah. Hey, he's easy killer, easy. I like ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah.
One of those big ones too, man. You kidding me? So that's how you feel 2 more minutes.
Boom. There you go.
All right.
Pistachio ice cream is fire. I agree. Thank you.
There you go.
Nick McSwain, I'm convinced I know more about football than Greg Olson.
Greg Olson. Now, Greg Olson is probably one that you ain't got nothing nice to say. Don't say anything at all. He gets on my damn nerves. It just feels like they always put him in a game where he's calling for one of his former teams, and it is so biased it's not even fun. It's just like, shut up, dude. Shut up. Yeah, so. I'm too old for this. My favorite ice cream is mayonnaise and olives. There you go. All right, got it.
Deep offense reference, if you can't remember that.
Yeah, they call that Michael Scott.
Stop
Scott
eating
special.
it.
Yeah. What's a Buster bar from Dairy Queen? What do we got here, Ben? What are we talking about, bro? A Buster bar?
Man, I haven't been to Dairy
Is
Queen.
that one of those? Is that one of those just chocolate shell dipped vanilla ice creams on a stick? Is that what that is? Y'all call it a Buster bar where you're from?
We got the chunks of like the cookie and
They
all
were
that.
called
The
Dilly
crumble.
Bar. The Dilly
Yeah.
Bar.
No, that's different. That's different.
And what's
Dilly
a
bar
Buster
is a straight dip where it's like the chocolate
yeah.
sauce that hardens up. The Buster
what's
bar
the-
is going to have clusters of like cookie crumble goodness. They're delightful.
Oh, you fancy, huh? Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I got
Dairy
you.
Queen, you're welcome for the 15-second free.
Yeah, you're right. Sponsor the show.
Try it. Holmes in the chat says, Clay, DQ, large ice cream cakes are like 10,000 calories a piece. Shaking my head. Hey, listen, Holmes.
Take it easy, Doc.
Listen to me, Holmes. I'll keep that in mind next time I go through half of one, all right? People on the podcast were like, did it cut out? What happened?
No.
I was trying to come back with something, but he makes a good point, man. They're so bad for you, dude. So bad for you. And here we are on ice cream talk. This is unbelievable, man. Right in the middle of the season, huge win against the Bears. That's what happens, though, man. That's what happens.
I'm getting hungry, bro.
Yeah, butter pecan solid. Yeah. All right. That's it, guys. The show sucks. Appreciate y'all. We will be back tomorrow for PTA Live, probably at 6 p.m. Central. We see tomorrow's Tuesday. Typically, we try to get Chalk Talk together, so I'll work on that tomorrow during the day. We'll get 10 to 15 plays from the Bears game, the most important plays, and we'll break them down, show you what happened, why did it happen, give you the good, the bad, and the ugly with that. As Doug takes us back off track, Buster Bar is a rounder version of a dilly bar, and it has nuts and chocolate sauce inside the chocolate shell. You gonna jump his ass too there, Holmes? I'm sick of people telling me how to eat, Tim. I'm done. We're out of here. Appreciate y'all. Hit like if you don't care. All right. Some people just unlike the stream, and I completely understand. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Here we go.
All right.
Bye, guys.